Welcome to the US 190 State Highway 6 Alignment Study virtual public meeting, which has been pre-recorded for the proposed project in Robertson County, Texas. The proposed project extends along US 190 State Highway 6 from south of Hearne to Texas-OSR. Thank you for joining us. My name is Juan Quiroz, and I serve as the District Planning Engineer for the Bryan District of the Texas Department of Transportation, better known as TxDOT. This virtual public meeting, presented by TxDOT, is provided to share information and to encourage comments from the public on this project. This virtual presentation is available online at our TxDOT website, www.texdot.gov. To reach the virtual public meeting webpage, just type SH6 Robertson in the keyword search box.
This virtual public meeting presentation will include the following topics: public involvement purpose, project description, long-term planning studies, project need and purpose, proposed conceptual improvements, environmental process, anticipated project schedule, TxDOT right-of-way process, and how to share your input. To skip ahead to a specific section, drag the progress bar in your video player to the corresponding slide in the right column of this table. Public involvement purpose. The public involvement purpose for the proposed project includes providing public opportunities for stakeholders, roadway users, and the public to engage with the project team. The proposed conceptual improvements will be presented in detail later in the presentation. As the project is further developed, public engagement will continue to seek public input on proposed improvements. Project description. The alignment study for the proposed project extends along US 190 State Highway 6 for approximately 11.5 miles from south of Hearne to Texas-OSR in Robertson County. Before we continue discussing the US 190 State Highway 6 alignment study, it is important to share TxDOT's overall long-term planning in this area of Robertson County. The Bryan District is undertaking 2 long-term planning studies in Robertson County along and near the US 190 corridor. The Hearne Relief Route study would extend around Hearne from US 190 State Highway 6 south of Hearne to US 79 State Highway 6 north of Hearne, approximately 4.5 miles. The scope of the study includes a feasibility study for a future relief route around Hearne that would improve regional connectivity, enhance safety, and relieve local congestion while minimizing environmental impact. The anticipated timeline for the Hearne Relief Route study is approximately 4 years. The Bryan District anticipates holding a public meeting in 2022 to inform the public about the project and seek public input. The US 190 Central Texas Corridor study would extend along or generally follow the US 190 corridor from Rogers in Bell County to Huntsville in Walker County, approximately 125 miles. A portion of this study will include the US 190 State Highway 6 segment presented in this virtual public meeting presentation. The scope of this long-term corridor planning study includes a feasibility study and a route study for a future freeway facility meeting interstate standards that would improve regional connectivity, enhance safety, and relieve congestion while minimizing environmental impact along the corridor. The anticipated timeline for the US 190 Central Texas Corridor study is approximately 6 years, starting summer of 2021. Throughout study development, extensive public involvement would be undertaken via working groups, stakeholder meetings, and public meetings to keep the public informed about the study and seek public input. Now we will return to the US 190 State Highway 6 alignment study discussion, continuing with project need and purpose. An alignment study examines existing and future conditions such as traffic, population growth, and development along a corridor. Outcomes of this study include recommended conceptual improvements that would address the needs of the corridor. The alignment study for this corridor identified the following needs: address safety along US 190 State Highway 6 and improve mobility along US 190 State Highway 6. To address the needs of the alignment study, the following proposed conceptual improvements would be implemented along the corridor. Modify roadway conditions from an undivided highway to a divided highway to enhance safety and improve mobility. Address the sharp curve and intersection at Old Bryan Highway. Improve the intersection at FM 2549 to enhance safety. Provide R-cut or restricted crossing U-turn intersections instead of traditional crossovers to improve safety, and improve the crossing at the Union Pacific Railroad to enhance safety by addressing bridge clearance and horizontal roadway clearance. This slide shows the crash density along this segment of US 190 State Highway 6. The crash heat map shows the areas with more crashes in orange and red. The data indicate a total of 306 crashes since 2015, 37 of which resulted in fatalities or serious injuries. 22.6% of crashes involved commercial vehicles, and 2019 had the highest crash rate. The layouts which illustrate the proposed conceptual improvements presented in this virtual public meeting are available for viewing and download at the TxDOT website, www.texdot.gov. Just type SH6 Robertson in the keyword search box. The existing undivided highway generally consists of two 12-foot travel lanes in each direction and 6-foot outside shoulders. Some segments contain a 14-foot wide center turn lane or a 4-foot wide flush median. In addition, TxDOT has recently constructed acceleration and deceleration lanes along this roadway to improve safety. The existing right-of-way width varies from approximately 150 to 330 feet. The proposed conceptual improvements would upgrade US 190 State Highway 6 to a 4-lane divided highway, two 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction, 4-foot wide inside and 10-foot wide outside shoulders, separated by a 68-foot wide grassy median. Additional right-of-way will be required. The Union Pacific Railroad is on the left or east side of this typical section, therefore widening is shown to the right. The conceptual improvements shown in the subsequent slides generally follow the existing alignment except for the segment near the Union Pacific Railroad where a new crossing may be developed. Additionally, the FM 2549 intersection would be upgraded to enhance safety, and R-cut, also known as restricted crossing U-turn intersections, are proposed to improve safety instead of using traditional crossovers. To enhance safety and improve operational efficiency at the FM 2549 intersection, a diamond interchange is proposed, which includes a grade separation with a bridge, shown in red, over FM 2549, with exit and entrance ramps, shown in purple. FM 2549 would also be extended to Old Hearne Road. The configuration allows main lane traffic, shown in peach color, to move through the intersection unimpeded, while still maintaining access to FM 2549. Restricted crossing U-turns, or R-cuts, would be added at intersecting FM and county roads and at select locations along the proposed divided highway to enhance safety for vehicles turning left. R-cut configurations improve safety by removing left turns from the intersecting streets, such as this example at Spring Oaks Drive, thereby reducing conflict points at the intersections. A northbound driver on US 190 State Highway 6 can turn left onto Spring Oaks Drive. Side street vehicles that wish to turn left onto US 190 State Highway 6 would instead turn right onto State Highway 6 and make a U-turn at a location offset from the intersection. This slide illustrates the proposed conceptual realignment of US 190 State Highway 6 to the east, which would include new bridges, shown in red, over the Union Pacific Railroad and crossing Campbell's Creek. The new realignment of US 190 State Highway 6 enhances safety by avoiding the railroad bridge column in the existing alignment that divides the northbound and southbound travel lanes. The conceptual divided roadway configuration would also improve shoulder conditions and recovery zone areas along the travel lanes. At Old Bryan Highway, US 190 State Highway 6 will be realigned as shown to reduce the curvature of the road and provide a smooth transition. An R-cut intersection would be constructed to reduce conflict points by eliminating left turns from Old Bryan Highway to US 190 State Highway 6 southbound. Vehicles that wish to turn left onto southbound US 190 State Highway 6 would turn right and make a U-turn at a dedicated location offset from the intersection. Environmental process. Prior to December 16, 2014, the Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA, reviewed and approved documents prepared under the National Environmental Policy Act, known as NEPA. However, on December 16, 2014, the Texas Department of Transportation assumed responsibility from FHWA to review and approve certain assigned NEPA environmental documents. This Memorandum of Understanding was renewed on December 9, 2019. The review and approval process applies to this project. This alignment study includes environmental constraints mapping to allow for identification and avoidance of sensitive resources, including air quality, archaeological resources, biological resources, community and socioeconomic, historic resources, hazardous materials, right-of-way and displacements, traffic noise, vegetation and wildlife, water resources, wetlands and waters of the U.S., and Section 4F resources. A detailed environmental study will be conducted in the next phase of the proposed project. Anticipated project schedule. We are currently in the alignment study stage of the proposed project, which is anticipated to be completed in 2022. The alignment study would provide recommendations for schematic development and continued environmental study, which is anticipated to take approximately 4 to 5 years. Upon completion of the schematic development phase, continued project development includes right-of-way acquisition, utility relocation, and final design plan preparation, which is anticipated to take approximately 4 to 5 years. Finally, the construction phase would last approximately 3 years. TxDOT right-of-way process. The project would, subject to final design considerations, require additional right-of-way and potentially require displacements. This slide illustrates TxDOT's right-of-way process. We are currently in the early stages of project development and as such have not started the right-of-way process. However, information is available on the TxDOT website outlining property owners' rights, the right-of-way process, and the help provided by the department in relocating tenants and property owners. These can be found on the project webpage or additionally at the web address noted on the slide. If you have any questions during the right-of-way process, please contact the Bryan District Right-of-Way Specialist, Melissa Sevilla, at 979-778-9607. Share your input. TxDOT is interested in hearing any feedback you might have on the information presented about this study. We understand this virtual public meeting format is a bit different, so let's take a few moments and explain the comment process, which is the most important part of this video. There are several methods available for you to share your input. All comments must be received or postmarked on or before July 15, 2021 to be included in the public meeting summary. You may email Steve Higgins, the project manager, at steve.higgins@texdot.gov. You may submit written comments to TxDOT Bryan District Office, attention Steve Higgins, 2591 North Earl Rudder Freeway, Bryan, Texas 77803. Please note that a comment form can be downloaded at the virtual public meeting webpage at www.texdot.gov. Just type SH6 Robertson in the keyword search box. The public may call project staff at 979-778-2165 during regular office hours or email project staff at any time in the project development process. Thank you very much for participating in the virtual public meeting.